You can't think like that, you know what I mean? If you think like that, you've had it, haven't you, really? So you concentrate, and you know that if you're breathing, and you can keep breathing, you're going to be all right.
I was in more pain when I got pulled out. I felt the physical pain when the actual vehicle was lifted.
The trauma didn't end there for John and Stuart. They faced a future which would test their courage to the limit. The staff at Huddersfield Royal Infirmary found that John had a broken pelvis. Stuart had a number of injuries, including a broken back. He was immediately transferred to the spinal injuries unit at Pinderfields Hospital nearby, where he was to hear some sobering news.
I remember that one day, you know, the physio came round, and me and another man, Ali, were joking about, you know, he was moaning. And I says, well, you know, don't worry about it, in a couple of months' time, we'll be up chasing each other around ward. And they just turned around and said, well, that's not going to happen, you know. You're not going to walk again, you know. That's when you realise that no, it's going to happen. It scares life out of you. Just don't want to talk to no one or anything.
My heart just dropped, and it really got to me. And I was thinking, his whole life ahead of him is ruined now. He won't be able to walk.
When I first heard that Stuart wouldn't walk again, I didn't know what to say. Just stayed up at the roof, thinking, or trying to think back to the actual accident. Could have been something else we could have done. Could I have prevented it? All right. And then back on it.
John had his own problems. He faced months of intensive physiotherapy to try and strengthen the wasted muscles in his legs.
Good. And again, go on.
I had to use the whole of my body weight to even pull myself up onto a 1-inch block of wood. And they asked me to do 10. And after 5, I asked them, do you mind if I stop? It was just that hard. That's when I finally knew now it wasn't just going to be back to work in a couple of weeks. It was going to be a long, long time.
The first glimmer of hope for Stuart came 6 weeks after the accident.
I looked down at my feet and my toe moved. Just without me consciously moving it, my toe moved. I moved it again. And then, you know, and then I realised it was me that were moving it. It wasn't a spasm or anything.
He said, do you want to see something? And I thought, here we go now. And he just moved his foot, and I think I gave him a great big kiss. I
felt like jumping up and dancing with someone or something. And then a bit of movement came in my leg.
Right, 5 more, okay.
In the early days, when Stuart, I think, was destined to be in a wheelchair, he was a difficult patient to work with. And in fact, at the end of the day, because he did have this rather aggressive, hard-working attitude, that's the one thing I think that's helped him.
That's even better.
You just feel you're not going to get any better than what you are at that time. So it drives you mad.
That's it. That's good. Just think you're on skis.
But that was a good thing in a way, because inside you hate it, doing it that much. You want to progress on to the next thing.
The increase in my muscles and ligaments is immense. It's great, because I still know there's a bit to go, but at least I know now I'm over the quarter-way mark to actually get to where I want to be.
One day, it could be tomorrow, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 10 years. It's going to stop. You're not going to get any better. First they said I wasn't going to walk, then they said, well, I might be able to play piano with my toes. And now I can get up and walk, so no complaints.
When he came to us, he was totally paralysed. And he's had to recover power and strengthen his legs.
Keep your back straight and let that leg come back into extension.
He's had to get back to walking. Could have been in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, and that would have been so easy.
Makes you look at life in a totally, completely different way. And you appreciate life more, you appreciate things around you more, people around you more.
It's just unbelievable. And it's nice just to say the 2 small words of thank you to them all.
The fact that Stuart can walk again is a big weight off my own shoulders. Because I always feel a sense of guilt. And it should, you know, it could have been me down that hall. Every time I look at Stuart and look at John, I know I'm looking at a good friend. And I'm just looking forward to that day when it can all three go out together. Without no sticks, wheelchairs. And go out for a drink.
Next week, a poisonous adder bite and a 65-year-old woman struggles to stay alive. And two rally enthusiasts are trapped when their car plunges 1,000 feet down a ravine.
Vicky Young's 18-month wait for a suitable donor kidney came to an end yesterday evening when she had a successful transplant operation, and doctors at Southmead Hospital in Bristol say she's making a good recovery.
This weekend, from the ports of Britain to the graves of Normandy, the BBC commemorates D-Day with unprecedented live coverage. From the parachute drops to the cathedral services and the fleet reviews, the men who went by land, sea and air are remembered on both sides of the channel as the BBC brings you the pride and sorrow of D-Day remembered.
A desperate race across Kenya at 10 past midnight. Brian Dennehy and Brooke Adams go for broke to rescue a threatened tribe. First on BBC1, on the streets of LA, Whoopi Goldberg's quite at home with the pushers and pimps of Fatal Beauty.